I'm trying to start everything at one time and utilizing my video. Let me move my, y'all know I like to keep my thing, my earning board. Y'all know I earn. We earn around here. So anyway, hi, greetings. My name is Dr. Amira Kofa Kwali, and I'm here at one of my offices that I have, and I'm basically of course doing a video here on your life purpose. Of course, we're gonna have a small conversation in regards to that, or did I say convo? I said convo in the titles. Let me make sure this looks crazy. Let me align this up right. Yeah, I know I can only see on here, so I have to get this kind of fidgety. This looks crazy. Anyway, so again, I'm your Dr. Amira Kofa Kwali. And of course, I look forward to, shoot, it looks so weird when you're trying to fix it and you looking at yourself and you thinking that you're doing something, you gotta damn near look down. I had to get adjusted. How they look? Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Anyway, how you doing, Jason? Of course, I am running here on Facebook, and I'm also running on YouTube. So a couple of things that I've jotted down and I've been really about here lately, because I'm taking, of course, y'all know I'm forever always taking different classes, because of course I would like to improve my services to assist many different people. I'm already a life coach. I'm already but of course I went across one of my colleagues, and they had this new program and they wanted to train me. And so of course I'm like, wow, so they gave me some good tips and everything, and I said, of course, a lot of times us as colleagues and things like that, we will begin to start training each other in different techniques, because of course they're all the way on the West Coast, while here I am in the Midwest. Of course, you all know I don't do artificial borders because of the fact that I am global. Okay, because most of my clients are international, and I also have clients here in the States and etc. And so for me, I wanted to do some advanced training in life coach. You already know that I have. How you doing, Emmanuel? Of course, you already know that I have. Let's see, someone's texting me. Okay. Of course, you already know that I have all these different certifications and degrees and etc. And so for me, I am, of course, working on advancing. So I already have the holistic certification or degree, I should say degree, within holistic life coaching. And so right now I'm also working on just the regular life coaching master's program. So I will probably be done with that probably like a week. So I'll be really done with that in a week. And so the thing is, I'm taking like 4 of those particular classes. At any rate, of course, you're going to find yourself at a lot of times. So certain things that my colleague is teaching me, I kind of agree with and I kind of disagree with. But again, I'm open. I'm open to suggestion because of the fact that, of course, I want to prove my experiences in helping people. Because again, different clients require different methods. Okay, so. And okay, so let's get on to the come on with the come ons. Okay, so anyway, in discovering doing this particular class, that they didn't necessarily say that I had to get the class, the books, but anyway, I wound up getting the book, because again, I wanted to be able to make things tangible, right? So at any rate, the thing on life purpose, the thing is energy, and this is some things that I've jotted So it's energy to understand who you are, to understand what your value is, what your system is in your value. How do you see it? What is tangible to you? Okay, because remember in the gate, I discuss on so many levels of telling people to take a passion and turn it into a business. And so, of course, I do believe in that philosophy still. I still believe in that because I took one of my passions and turned it into a business, right? However, you have to recognize that you still have to be good at it. Now, you might be passionate just because you're passionate about something, and that's something that I don't really talk about. Because you're passionate about something does not mean that you're good at it, okay? So you have to find a niche. It has to be one of your passions, has to be a niche. Because I've had, like, for example, in talking to some of I had one client, she felt like she was a good tarot reader, okay? And so I'm like, okay, cool. Since you're a tarot reader, go ahead and read me. Tell me what you see for me, et cetera, et cetera. So she did a reading on me, and not so. And so she's very passionate about it, but just because you're passionate about it don't mean you're good at it. And so I asked her, what is the purpose of her, what is the golf of her wanting to really, the gump of really wanting to expand and taking her tarot reading to a different level and turn it into a business. And she was just basically like, well, everybody else is doing it. So no. This is like a lot of, like, for example, some of the degrees that I had before I got into life coaching, spiritual healing, and etc., right? So some of those degrees that I had, that was like information systems. I was kind of passionate about computers. How you doing, sis? I was passionate about computers. How you doing? Hello, Sister Amanda. I was passionate about computers, but wasn't really good at it. Does that make sense? Because I used to blow up a whole bunch of different computers, okay? But I could fix them back. And then when I would go to find jobs, when I would try to, because I was in insurance at the time, so I was transferring from a claims processor into fixing computers. But I wasn't really good at it. You feel me? I was passionate about it, but wasn't really good at it. So then when I began to start, applying for these jobs, the blessing is because it was all about me making more money. And I was in a situation where I had to, because I had paid. It's not like I took out a loan, but I cashed money my way through school. So anyway, I began to start applying for these different jobs, and these different jobs were just like, well, you're green. And in the computer world, in a lot of other worlds, especially in the computer field, green basically meant you don't have any experience. Yeah, I had experience in the software as a computer, the applications of the computer, but I didn't have any experience just within the school of how to fix computers, how to put them on the same network and that. So I wasn't prepared in advancement of how to do that. I had some great instructors, but I had to have a lot of assistance. It wasn't like I was self-taught or I could really do it and could think on my own, but I always had to have assistance in that. Okay. And even on top of the schooling, I still had to get someone to help, right? So again, passionate about it, but wasn't really good at it. Okay. So those are things that we have to be honest about. Okay. When we're picking things or our life purpose, of what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. So that's just one example. And then again, the reason why, because computers were blowing up back then, because more people were getting on the computers, more jobs were hired for computers, more people were hired for in my degrees in micro specialist something or another. I can't even remember. Then the second, my third degree was in healthcare administration. So going to do that, again, it was just the application process of, healthcare, how does benefits run, and this and that. And it was just kind of in one ear and one out the other, right? And so in learning that, again, it was just really involving me regurgitating information. You telling me one thing, me studying it, applying it, self-taught, and kind of working my way through it. I wasn't passionate about it. But then when it comes to me going into insurance companies, and I worked for many insurance companies, like Humana here in Louisville, Kentucky. I also worked at Magellan Healthcare Services. Was not good at that at all. As far as memorizing the insurances and things like that. But I was good at data processing. I could data process. I know how to type. I was pretty good because I took a lot of keyboard classes on from high school to college. So I would always test out of that. I could always type a decent amount. I'm not saying I was the best, but I could always type a decent amount. And I understood the keyboard, and I could look. I didn't have to look at the keyboard to type and things like that. So, of course, that saved my life in that regards. But if I had to remember the material, I wasn't going to retain it because I always thought I was stupid. And I would have to always had a cheat sheet, nearby me. So wasn't really passionate about that, right? So, of course, I began to start moving on, and I began to start finding new passions. And, I just kept on trying to find myself and really just finding money. That's really what it was all about, because I went to school for majority of things that I went to school for in the past was based upon what the current situation was. Okay, so first was computerized accounting. Okay, because many businesses needed accounting. Okay, so that's where I first started, because in high school I took a couple of accounting classes. I didn't even like it. And then it was into the computer phase back in DOS days when computers really started getting out there. So then I learned that. And I got an associate's degree in that, and that was crap. Okay. And so again, I didn't utilize it. I did utilize it to a point, but it wasn't like something I specialized in, right? And even in studying like all these different degrees and levels of schools that I had to go to, I wasn't very passionate about it. And it wasn't just, I was passionate about it, but I wasn't really good at it. I was passionate about it because I felt like I was going to make money at it. So again, it just goes back to, just because you're passionate about it, don't mean you're going to be good at it. Don't mean you're going to make money at it. And if you can't do it on a full-term basis, then you don't need to do it. If you still are working another job and doing it, if you're not able to pay your rent or your mortgage, pay for your car note, self-sustain your own business with what you do, then you need to cut it out. You don't need to do it. You need to find something else. Because if you have to work if you have to do your business plus work a job, then you're wasting your time. Okay? Because you're not good at it. Because if you were good at it, then you would be able to self-sustain. Because with my life coaching business, and it's not because it's a thing to do, because I know it's very popular for a lot of people, but I'm actually good at it. I'm actually good at life coaching. I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm actually good at healing. I'm actually good at herbs, and I'm actually good at all that stuff. And so when you're good at something and you're able to sustain it, you're able to make an income off of it, then that is part of your life purpose. Some things just should be done as a hobby for some of y'all. So now within a 10-day process, usually you will somewhat find out what it is that you're good at, what it is that you can learn how to do. Okay, within a 10-day process, when I went to school, I give an example. Let's go back. When I went to school for, information systems, within a 10-day process, I already knew, but I had already grandfathered in. I was already there, and I didn't want to be seen as a quitter. But within a 10-day time period, I already knew this is some bullshit. I already knew that I was not good at it, that I was passionate about, but I was not good at it. Okay? With a lot of different ventures that I've done, a lot of different jobs, because I've had so many different jobs. I worked at Jiffy Lube. I was not good at it. I wanted to, the whole purpose was just trying to get a job at the time and learn how to change my own oil to a degree. But again, keep in mind, my father showed me how to do it, but I just didn't, I was just like, I did it, I could do it good enough. So I wouldn't have to, if I got really broke or I didn't have any money, then I can change my own oil. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I would just always go to somebody else because I didn't want to really do my oil change, So that's the thing. So these are things that one must have to understand about your life purpose. You have to be able to make sure that within the 10-day, so you don't waste time. Okay, you cannot waste time. We don't have time to waste. So within the 10-day process, you would know exactly what you need to do. Because I went to school for CNA. I knew after looking at my client, after my patient had a bowel movement and I threw up and I got really sick, I knew that this was not for me. This was not for me. So again, because I was going to go to school to be an LPN. Because I wanted to follow at the time. I wanted to follow my mother-in-law because I really wanted to impress her. Okay, and so a lot of times, and I admired my grandmother-in-law at the time, and so because of that, we have to be honest and realistic with ourselves, and we can't just be living out our dreams and saying this is my dream. And sometimes it's not always about a dream. Sometimes it's about making and establishing yourself in money, because your dreams you can do on your spare time. But if you're not able to make money off of it, what's the point? You know what I mean? If you're broke, you're unable to pay your bills, and you're struggling each month to maintain, then you're in the wrong profession. 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 If you got to work this job, that job, this job just to do it, then you're in the wrong profession. So you're going to have to figure out something else to do. So some of you all have to take a 10-day process period and really looking within and find out what are you good at? What are you good at? What can you do without someone staying over your back to assist you? Okay. Because again, with life coaching, I've always been giving people directions on how to fix their life. I've always evolved in my life. Always when I knew something wasn't working, I was like, okay, well, this is not working. I need to move forward. I didn't waste a whole lot of time. You know what I mean? I was investing, so I already knew. I said, well, I'm just going to get this degree. Maybe it'll pay off, and I'm just going to keep it moving. But I already knew that wasn't my passion. I knew it wasn't something. I knew it was my passion, but I knew I wasn't going to make no money off it. I knew what doctored my resume. I knew it would make my resume look impressive, because when I was trying to work for other people, the first thing employers will look at, they will be like, oh, okay, she has her degree in computerized accounting, so she knows a lot about accounting. Okay. The second thing they'll look at, they'll be like, okay, cool. She actually has been in the customer service field, her whole entire career, right? The second thing they will look at, they will say, okay, well, she understands computer programs. She understands the software applications and all that about computers. She understands how they work. So she does know how to work on a computer. Cool. Okay, data processing. Okay, so she knows how to type such and such amount of words per minute. Then they will go and look at the healthcare administration. Okay, so she knows about insurance. And employers also look at like, well, dang, she knows how to stay in school. She knows how to complete a task. She's not a quitter. So that's what employers will look at. Okay. And they would also, do you have your degree? How long did it take you to get your degree? You know what I mean? What were your grades like when you were trying to go to your degree? Because they want the best. A lot of them want the best of the best. And sometimes they just want you to be able to pass and have that situation. The majority of the jobs I went out for, I would get because I had that wowing system. Like I said, the computer jobs were the hardest jobs for me to get because you actually had to know your stuff, and I didn't know my stuff. I just knew enough to do it. You know what I mean? But they want someone who actually can run a system without having someone over them. You know what I mean? Without having to have somebody to come in to, to have a minimum amount of supervision, okay? Because they want you to be able to, most of the computer departments want you to be able to, really, they don't have a lot of team because a lot of companies are cheap. So they will really have like a manager, another person, like a supervisor, and then they'll have like an employee. That's what most of the computer companies consisted of. Okay, so the ones that I was applying for, that's what it was. They didn't have like a whole IT department. Okay, so you really got to know your stuff in these fields. You got to really know your stuff so people will really work with you. And so within the 10-day process, okay, that is the minimum amount of time. Within the 10-day process, if you are not good at obtaining, the people are not believing you enough to invest in you, to take your business to a whole nother level, then you're wasting your time. You need to find something else you need to do. And stop going with the fad, because going with the fad is not going to get you paid. Going with the fad is not going to advance your business. And just because I see somebody doing something, and that's another thing, I will see people doing stuff in computers. I will see the information department come and fix my computer and then leaving. And you know what I mean? And so that's what happens. So sometimes we'll mirror somebody. We'll see someone doing this. We'll see, oh, well, I can do that. You think you can do something because you see somebody else doing it. Sometimes you can't. You know how many people looked at Michael Jordan and was like, God, Michael Jordan plays excellent. They might have played a little ball. They might have been okay and been average or been a decent person on the team that you could pass the ball to. But then by the time they get to the college age or in the recruitment age of NBA, you're just a small fish in the big pond, right? So, so you may need to utilize that, what do you call it? Scholarship, so you can go to school, so you can be able to obtain and finish your degree and whatever other passion you have. You always have to teach our children to be realistic, not just trying to be the next Michael Jordan. Sometimes we need to be the next whoever they are, and so we have to teach our children, we have to teach ourselves not to be somebody else but to be ourselves. That's why I tell people a lot of times, don't think because I make life coaching easy. It's just I'm naturally good at it. And so it's nothing for me to wake up and to coach someone to do whatever. You know what I mean? I have a natural ability to read people because I'm gifted, right? I have a natural ability to heal someone because I'm gifted. That's just me. But just because you can give this person advice, just because you give good advice does not make you a life coach. Just because you can give, just because you may have been able to heal a cold or you can heal your children when they're sick, does not mean you can heal everybody else in herbs, okay? Just because you can, just because you lost 300 pounds does not mean that you can help everybody else lose 300 pounds because that was your particular body, right? So these are things that we have to be mindful of. And that's why I tell people, don't try to be somebody else. You're not. You're just not. And so we have to get out of that and start finding our real life purpose, okay? Because we need to become innovators, inventors, and invent things, and not just relying on this person and watching this person and stealing someone else's idea, because it's not going to get you anywhere, because it's going to leave you right back where you started from. You might get your 10 clients for a minute, but after a while, they're going to see through you and know you don't know what the hell you're doing, and they're going to end up leaving you. And they're going to tell everybody that this particular person don't know what you're doing, and you're putting a bad rep on yourself, and you're putting a bad rep on the reputation of many other people who have done in real life what you're trying to do, but that you really can't do. Okay. So keep it in mind. So the rule of thumb, 10 days, within 10 days, if you are not making any type of money to sustain yourself, to even pay your rent, to even pay a car note or so, then you don't know what you're doing. Even on down to jewelry making, because I've seen a lot of y'all, it's so many of y'all make jewelry on here, It's so many of y'all. Again, I know how to make jewelry, but I'm not excellent at it. Some of you all are way better than making jewelry on here than I am. And some of you are real outsourced and go to you to get some jewelry to sell to somebody, or some things I will make. But I'm not, that's not my passion. That's not something, that's something I'm not really passionate about. I'm just doing it because I have clients that request me to do it because they don't want to go to anybody else, because they know, they understand my energy and they want me to apply my energy into the jewelry to send off to them, because they don't trust some people, other people, right, that make jewelry. So again, keep it in mind, that's not really part of my forte, because really the part of my forte in the jewelry is applying my healing energy within the jewelry, so when the person wears it, they feel good about it, etc. Okay, that's really the only reason why I do make jewelry. But I'm not really good at it. It's not something that I'm really passionate about. I'm not in the jewelry business. You know what I mean? So I'm realistic with myself. I'm not kidding myself, because I know a lot of you all on here can make some really good jewelry. I mean, y'all are experts at it. And that's something that I will never take away. So I stay in my lane because I know what my life purpose is. I'm not just trying to do something for the next fad, because some of you all been doing something. It's just like some of y'all, let's take it there. It's just like some of you all who do things illegally. So, for example, people who sell marijuana. Okay, some of you all been selling marijuana for 20 years. Don't just barely got a car, barely got a house. I mean, barely paying rent. You know, hello, you can't sell weed forever. You know, maybe you're just not good at it. Maybe you need to find another profession. You know, maybe you need to try to invest into a medicinal store where you can sell large amounts and you go through the government to do it. Maybe you need to do something like that, because you're not at what you're doing, because you have been doing it for so long and you have not made any transition into something else. Okay. So again, rule of thumb, 10-day period. If you're not able to make a car note, if you're not able to pay all your bills, your next month's bills within a matter of 10 days after starting a business, then you need to stop, because it's not going to work. After 10 days, you should be able to do that. I promise. 10 days. If you can't do it within 10 days, then you need to figure out something else to do. Okay? So I'm going to wrap this video up, because I have to finish this class. Because like I told you, I have a week to finish this class. I'm probably going to finish it. Well, these 4 classes, I'm going to finish it less than a week to get that out the way. But again, remember, just because you're good at something, just because you're passionate about something, don't mean you're good at it. Okay? So try to find something that you're really good at. You might not be as passionate about it, but you may be good at it. So passions can be done on your days off, on something that you want to do. But if you can't make a full-time business out of it and quit your job and sustain, then you don't need to do it. Okay? Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in to your Dr. Amira Sankofa Kwali. You can reach me at www.ask314life.com, 502-208-9142. Thank you. Namaste.